Violet. Okay, let's get on the live. Let's get on the live and build up the live. We're going to educate my people. Educate my people. Educate my people. Greetings and give thanks and praises. And tonight we have a very significant presentation on different types of lymphoma. And as we know that a cancer is affecting a lot of people these days, right, brother? Yeah. Do you know how many people come here with cancer? There was a brother from Trinidad. We're going to send off our thoughts to the brother. He's in Methodist Hospital fighting liver cancer. And then we got a call today from a sister in St. Vincent, a 5-year-old child with non-Hodgkin lymphoma. And I hope you listen. I hope you're looking tonight, my sister, because I told her we are going to do a presentation tonight on lymphoma and non-Hodgkin. 5 years old. And we just lost another 5-year-old child in Grenada to sarcoma cancer. A 2-year-old is now suffering from what? Leukemia. And an 8-year-old is suffering from sarcoma cancer. Difficult cancer to repair. Difficult. It is very fast moving. And there's a 14-year-old child, young girl, who is also suffering from sarcoma cancer. So where all the cancer coming from? So tonight I want to educate my people about different forms of lymphoma and how we can prevent the lymphatic system from becoming bombarded and clogging up the lymph nodes, getting cancer there. 2, come over here, son. You see this guy, the kidney? You see this guy, the lymphatic, over here, son, the lymphatic system? Both of them is fluids. He is a fluid and he's a fluid. So once you want to fix this guy, you have to go to this guy, the lymphatic system. And once you're going to fix your kidney, because he's the water organ, you have to go to the lymphatic system also, because he is vessels and fluids that flow parallel to the bloodstream. He is also liquid. Yeah? So let's go on the board and we're going to teach all my people. Don't get cancer in the lymphatic system. It's very difficult to repair, especially non-Hodgkin lymphoma. Yeah? Cancer of the blood. Now this guy called the HTLV virus. It's called human T-cell lymphoma virus. And this virus affects the T lymphocytes in the lymphatic system. So this virus can cause you to get what? Lymphoma too. Yeah, and that's what Robert Gallo was calling him HTLV3 HIV. Until they realized that this guy was a different retrovirus to HIV. You all have to do your research now on these guys, you know. Yeah, because they're putting everything in Africa. Yeah? Wonderful. Now, what is lymphoma? Let me go over here. Come on. What is lymphoma? Lymphoma. Yeah? Lymphoma. We're going to board over here, we're going to go over here, we come back over here. Yeah? What is lymphoma? Lymphoma is a cancer of the lymphatic system. And the lymphatic system is part of the body's germ fighting and disease fighting immune system. One more time. The lymphatic system, which is part of the body's germ fighting and disease fighting immune system. Disease fighting. It fights diseases. Cancer begins when the cells that are healthy, we call it mutation, they change. This word means mutation in the medical system, and they grow out of control. Lymph nodes in the lymph system are found throughout our body, but are found mostly in the groin, the pelvis, the neck, the chest, under the arm, and the abdomen. And that's the reason why when you have cancer in your intestines, low colon cancer, it affects the nodes. That's why when a woman has breast cancer, it affects the nodes. That's why when you have stomach cancer, it affects the nodes. And that's the reason why when you have liver cancer, it affects the nodes too. Because the nodes all over, yeah? So that is what lymphoma is. Come over here, sir. So the tonsils is part of the lymphatic system. The thymus gland is part of the lymphatic system. The spleen is part of the lymphatic system because it is the largest area of the lymphatic system. It's like a football field. So once you have non-Hodgkin's or Hodgkin lymphoma, it can affect your spleen. Yeah, we're going to come back to over here now. All right? Then you have the bone marrow and you have the lymph nodes, and they're all over. See them? They're in your neck, they're under your arm, they're in your pelvis, they're in your groin, and that's the reason, then your groin, and that's the reason why when you have cancer in these areas down here, it affects the nodes. You start to get swelling of the legs. Huh? Let's go ahead over here. One more time. Causes of lymphoma, Hodgkin's, and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. The first thing that caused you to get cancer in the lymphatic system is called HTLV virus. The second cause of lymphoma, non-Hodgkin's, and Hodgkin's is what? Immune suppressant drugs. When you have lupus, when you have muscular dystrophy, when you have myasthenia gravis, when you have sarcoidosis, when you have RA, when you have Southern syndrome, they're all autoimmune diseases. So they give you immune suppressant drugs to suppress the immune system so that your immune system do not attack your muscles, your kidney, your lung, your liver, your heart, or your joints. But they also contribute to you getting lymphoma, non-Hodgkin's, and Hodgkin lymphoma. The H. pylori also cause you to get lymphoma. So do not get the H. pylori bacteria in the stomach. Epstein-Barr virus also can cause you to get non-Hodgkin's and Hodgkin's lymphoma and Roundup from Monsanto, because now Monsanto sold a company to Bayer, which is a drug company, and they could produce Roundup, and that's why lots of farmers in America is now suing Monsanto because Roundup caused non-Hodgkin's and Hodgkin's lymphoma. Also, DNA mutation. You there, bro?
Yeah.
DNA mutation. When your DNA mutate. Wonderful. So once the DNA is damaged, meaning that the nucleus in the DNA is damaged, then you can get non-Hodgkin's. And you can get Hodgkin's lymphoma. And if you have the HTLV virus, human T-cell lymphoma virus, this can cause you to get lymphoma because it affects your T-cells. I'm going to go back to the board and I'm going to teach you. Go through this already. The lymphatic system, as I said before, also include your tonsils, your thymus gland. Come over here, look at here. Your tonsils, your thymus gland, your spleen, yeah, and the bone marrow. Let's go over here, son. Wonderful. Spleen and the red marrow, because the red marrow produces your red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Am I lying, nurses? Am I lying, doctors? Okay. That's part of the lymphatic system. And that's why we got to keep it healthy. Type of lymphomas. Hodgkin's lymphoma is what they call in the medical system red Sternberg cells. So when you have Hodgkin lymphoma, you have the red Sternberg cells, when you have non-Hodgkin lymphoma, the non-Hodgkin lymphoma do not contain the Sternberg cells, period. So that's how the doctor could determine if you have Hodgkins or non-Hodgkins, because the Hodgkins have the red Sternberg cells and the non-Hodgkin don't have them. Yeah? Then you have chronic lymphocytic leukemia. They're all cancer of the blood that affect the lymphatic system. So a lot of them, you see? So we here to teach you, don't get them kind of cancer, because these two right here, they're hard to fix. They're difficult. You either have this one here, you have the B diffuse or the T cell non-Hodgkins. Gary, if you look at my brother, tell him that you had that. Tell them now that you did stem cell. Gary, if you're on the live, my brother, tell them that you had this cancer. And tell them that I talked to your oncologist and I told him how to raise a Th1 lymphocyte. Gary's still living up to this day. And he did a stem cell transplant. His cancer came back. Gary, are you on the live, my brother? Tell them, talk to them. Talk to the people. So you have Hodgkins, non-Hodgkins. And you have chronic lymphocytic leukemia. They all are what we call blood cancers. So some of these cancers do not give you a swelling, but the little 5-year-old boy from St. Vincent, they cut his neck and he have lumps all over, and they say he have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. He don't have the Sternberg cells. Let's go again. You have another lymphoma called Cutaneous B-cell lymphoma. And you have one called Cutaneous T-cell lymphoma. T-cells, we said before, is found in the lymphatic system. That's where they're at. Then you have this big-ass name right here. That is coming, they're all coming from white blood cells. It's called Waldenstrom micro globule linemia lymphoma. The name is so big, but they all affect the lymphatic system. One cause of all diseases. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to the next one now. You have next one called chronic lymphocytic leukemia, called CLL. And they are more blood cancers. And they are more difficult to fix because they don't respond to chemotherapy. They don't respond to radiation. Yeah? But they had to give you a stem cell transplant for these type of cancers. And this one called chronic lymphocytic leukemia, CLL, it develops in the blood and bone marrow. And this cancer affects people like the older, like in the 50s and the 60s. But now we see that people under 45 is coming down with this type of leukemia too, CLL. So it not only affecting people over 50 or more, it starts affecting younger brothers and sisters under the age of 50 also, because it develops in the blood and the bone marrow, and it affects people who's past the age of 50. But now it's also affecting the younger ones too. Don't get it. This cancer is hard to fix. If you get it, trust me. All right. This guy, cutaneous B-cell lymphoma, it starts in our white blood cells. And it can attack the skin. Because we had a sister who had this type of cancer, and she had all like a frog skin. Yeah? This cancer here can attack the white blood cells and can attack the skin. And the symptoms are one or more lumps on the skin that is appear brown, pink, red, and the doctor will check and see if you have this type of lymphoma. You have to learn about them things. Learn about all your body. Learn about your body, how it functions. So nobody can fool you all. Because this cancer are very difficult to repair. Yeah? Right. Cutaneous T-cell is called TCLC. And that begins in our white blood cells again, called T lymphocytes, and can cause rashes on the skin. So if you start having a lot of rashes on the skin, you don't have to be that, but you should get it checked by a medical doctor. I hear me say, Patrick Delsey, a medical doctor? Yes, a medical doctor. Get them checked out to make sure it is not this type of cancer, CTLC. Yeah? Let's go again. This big one here now. He starts in our white blood cells also. And he go under like some changes that can turn these guys into cancer cells. We call it mutation. Yeah? So really this cancer starts in our white blood cells, called the T cells. And the T cells, they undergo these changes that can turn them or mutate them. We call it mutation or change into cancer cells. See? So it's not only non-Hodgkins, it's not only Hodgkins, it's not only lymphoma, it's a lot of them. You see what I'm saying? All right? Now, let's look at some herbs, and we're going to tell you what to do. Now, you see this guy right here? He have a lot of herbs in here. Let's look at red root first. I'm going to go to the board. Red root is an astringent plant. Astringent means that when you have a sickness, and the sickness affects the tissues of the body, we go inside of your body and we give you plants that act as astringent plants, not the emulsant, astringent plants. What do? Astringent plants go in, and they go into the system, and they seem to heal the tissues of the body. That's what they do. Red root does that because it is astringent. Red root is useful for an overactive mucosa with excessive amount of mucus. And once you are going to fix lymphoma, non-Hodgkins, Hodgkins, HTLV, you must get rid of the excessive amount of mucus in the mucous mucosa that produces mucin. So this herb called red root, it is an astringent plant, but it is very effective for an overactive mucosa with excessive amount of mucus. It is also good for lymphatic congestion. When your lymphatic system is congested, we use this plant. This herb called red root, it is also important for women who have fibrocystic breast disease. Yeah. This herb called red root, it is also important for hemorrhoids. If mixed with cinnamon, if mixed with ginkgo, if it mixed with goji berries, if it mixed with stone root, good for hemorrhoids. This herb called red root is also good for tonsillitis. If you mix it with what? Echinacea purpurea, Echinacea angustifolia, golden seal. Yeah? It will get rid of any kind of troubles in your tonsils. Tonsillitis, laryngitis, all the itis in the tonsils. And because your tonsils is part of the lymphatic system, we can use this herb with other plants to drain your lymphatic system because it acts as what? An astringent plant. So it is a herb that has the tissues of the tonsils, the tissues of the intestine, the tissues of the breast for cystic breast disease in women. Yeah? Cut off your old breast eventually. Let's look at the next one. A lot of them, but we don't want to stay too long because we're in school. Yeah? Wonderful. Your class is almost over. Cleavers. Cleavers is a very significant plant, but I use it for lots of people who have UTI, urinary tract infection. And I mix it with an herb called Oregon grapefruit or even golden seal and another herb called hydrangea, corn silk, and uveraceae if the person have a UTI, a urinary tract infection. But it is very significant for the lymphatic system. It is very significant if the bladder is inflamed. So if you have a bladder that is inflamed, it is also very important for that. But it is what? Inflammation, good for inflammation of the what? Of the bladder, the urethra, or the vas deferens, and the spermatoza cord in us men. The sperm cord in us men help to build back up your sperm. So it's not only good for the lymphatic system, it is also good for urinary tract infection. And it is very significant for men who have BPH, benign prostatic hyperplasia, meaning that your prostate is enlarged. Yeah, brother? We teaching them tonight, teaching all you tonight, yeah? This herb called cleavers. It is also important for lymphedema and enlarged lymph nodes. So when you have lymph nodes coming out in your neck, you have it in your groin, you have it under your arm, this guy called cleavers is important for that. But it is also significant for lymphedema. So when you, the woman, have breast cancer, and the doctor say you have lobular cancer in the lobule of the breast, the cancer will leave the lobula of the breast and go into your lymph nodes, and because your lymph nodes is vested in fluids that flow parallel to the bloodstream, it starts carrying these nodes into the lung. So your doctor remove your nodes as a woman who is suffering from breast cancer and some nodes is being affected. He removed them. When he removed these nodes, because your lymph system is vested in fluids, you cannot move the fluids out, so you get lymphedema. Your hands start swelling. That's where cleavers comes in. God is great. He gives you cleavers to get rid of the lymphedema. You got that? Wonderful, man. God is great. Next one is called Stillinger. And Stillinger is what we call an alternative plant. What alternative mean, Patrick? Alternative plant means that they go in and they help the whole body. Alternative, astringent, demulcent, caminatives. Yeah? That's what this herb does. It acts as what we call an alternative plant. It is good for syphilis. If you can mix this herb, Stillinger, with another Stillinger, with another herb called what? Sarsaparilla. Jamaica have the best sarsaparilla in the world. If you can mix Stillinger with sarsaparilla, and you put another herb called red raspberry leaves, and an herb called quasar, and an herb called myrrh, and an herb called frankincense, it is good for syphilis. It fixes any kind of syphilis that you have. And then, when you use this herb, it is also important for people who have degenerative diseases like cancer and joint problems. It also stimulates the liver. It also stimulates the lymphatic system. It also stimulates the kidney. It stimulates their function. We call it stimulation. See? So anytime you have troubles in the lymphatic system, or you have syphilis, or you have any kind of form of degenerative disease, you have to go to Stillinger. You have to go to sarsaparilla. You have to go to myrrh and frankincense. You have to go to quasar. And then in the process, you're going to start stimulating your liver, the lymph system, and the kidney. And this herb, it is if it's used with another herb called mullein leaf and wild cherry bark, and Stillinger and mullein leaf and hohong, it is good for what? Pertussis, whooping cough. And if the cough is irritating and you keep on coughing, we add another herb called what? Lobelia. We add another tell us dig that, man. Come on here, son. There's only a few we're going to teach all you tonight. Don't worry about that. We're going to come back to the next thing again. Right? So here, we said what lymphoma was. Yeah? And then we look at the part of the body that correspond to the lymphatic system, the tonsils, the thymus gland under your neck. And remember we said before that this gland shrinks prematurely, the thymus gland that is, it shrinks prematurely if you don't feed it zinc. So if this gland do not get zinc, it can shrink prematurely, although it shrink naturally as we get older. If it shrinks prematurely, we can get cancer faster because it is part of the lymphatic system. And then we have the lymph nodes, and we have the spleen, which is also part of the lymphatic system, and the bone marrow. Yeah? All right, don't forget. Yeah? We're teaching you all tonight. Now, we talk about that. Lymphoma, environmental toxin can cause lymphoma too. RA, rheumatoid arthritis, can also cause lymphoma. Celiac disease can also cause you to get lymphoma long term. Viral or bacterial infection, like the HTLV virus and Epstein-Barr virus, can cause you to get what? Lymphoma. And breast implants. Or your woman want to get big bubbies and want to put some silicone in your breast. You all can get lymphoma from that too. Because I have a friend who got lymphoma from breast implants. She had to remove all of them. So women, be careful now putting these breast implants in your breasts. You know what I mean? Keep the God-given breast that you have. Wonderful. Symptoms of lymphoma. Swelling of the lymph nodes in your neck and your groin, under your arm, armpits. You know? Fever, weight loss, pain, sweating, especially at night, stomach problem, and itching. Yeah? Itch all the time. That's a sign of it. It don't have to be lymphoma. It could be kidney disease too. Yeah? Now, non-Hodgkin lymphoma, stages. So let's look at the stages that your doctor tell you that you have when your cancer is in stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah? Let's go. So stage 1, lymphoma. Your cancer is localized. One node is affected. So you see that right here? In your neck, one node is affected. That's stage 1. Localized disease. Single lymph nodes, region, or single organ. Stage 2. Moving. 1, 2. Stage 2. 2 or more lymph nodes, regions on the same side of your diaphragm. Stage 2. Stage 3. 2 or more nodes, regions above and below the diaphragm. Look at them right here. So we're going into the groin now. So leave 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Groin. See? In your legs. Yeah? In your neck. It starts moving because we said before that your lymphatic system is fluid and vessels that flow parallel to the bloodstream. The blood, the fluids, kidney, and lymphatic system is very significant because they work together. Yeah? So, stage 4. Widespread disease. Multiple organs with or without lymph node involvement. So the cancer can spread from the lymph nodes and go into your lung or go into the chest cavity, and you could have what we call no involvement of organs. And it could stay right here, yeah? Or it can move and go straight into the lung, straight into your liver, and get straight into what? Into the groin. That's stage 4. So you have stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. So once you get to this stage over here, yeah, you having problems now because it can be affecting your organs. And once that cancer starts affecting your organs, it can disrupt the function of that organ, and then you're in trouble long term. Yeah? Okay. Let's go. Here we go. A program to drain your lymphatic system and avoid lymphoma. I'm going to use avoid. Avoid lymphoma. burdock root, red clover, violet leaves, cleavers, pork root, figwort, podiaco, calendula. Lot of them. Yeah? Yeah? Drain it. They help the vessels to become thin and they move the blood properly. And in the process, you are now getting rid of these lumps right here. Yeah? Because now your macrophages are not creating a cytokine storm. The T lymphocytes are not being affected, and they're going to fight for you and kill that sucker called cancer that is in your lymphatic system. That's what these herbs are doing. Treating lymphoma from the HTLV virus. Treating lymphoma from the HTLV virus that the demon Robert Gallo said was HTLV3 HIV, and change it around. Isotis, one of the best herbs for viruses. Isotis, one of the best herbs for the Epstein-Barr virus. One of the best herbs for what? For HIV virus. One of the best herbs for what? HTLV virus. One of the best herbs for what? The flu virus. One of the best herbs for what? The rhinovirus called the cold. One of the best herbs for what? Hepatitis B and C virus. Isatis. Burdock root. Hyssop. Elderflower. Thyme. Both antiviral, antibacterial. Antioxidant. Good for the lung. Red clover. Isoflavones. Inulin. Also works on the lymphatic system. Oregano. Colloidal silver. St. John's wort. But hyssop, antiviral. St. John's wort, antiviral. You all know that, did you? Yeah. You don't understand? And you see, once we can get the body back in balance, and then we have to work on the 3 fluids. Remember, we said that the lymphatic system is vessels and fluids that flow parallel to the bloodstream. So you have to have the bloodstream being clean and proper. So we're going to introduce one of the 8 method therapy called what? Blood purification. Blood purification. And then we're going to have the vessels and fluids moving, being thin, because now we have the macrophages and the T lymphocytes inside there. And we're strengthening them. And then we are preventing the cytokine storm from manifesting, because the macrophages is all messed up and being fooled by your cancer. So he creates a cytokine storm. And once he creates a cytokine storm, the macrophages, we're supposed to move the breeze from them areas. He starts to produce a factory of the cells that your cancer cell like. And then your blood is so contaminated with toxins and acids, and then automatically it is a host now for the cancer to move from the lymphatic system into the bloodstream and come right there into your lung, into your chest cavity, and it go down here, and it go into your liver, and it go down here, and it go in your pelvis, and your feet start swelling, and your tonsils messed up. You follow? But if you can keep the bloodstream clean, and then you can drain the lymphatic system, and you can come to this organ right here. The kidney, and because he is the water organ of the body, and he have to what? Keep the pH balance of 7.0, 7.45, because he's liquid. And you have the bloodstream, which is liquid. And you have the lymphatic vessels and fluids, which is liquid. And the water clean and proper. And when they're clean and proper, you can also now keep your immune system healthy. And then your immune system can now start damaging or killing them cancer cells. That's what it is. That's what it is. You know? Because I'm telling you all, one more time, it's going to get worse. It ain't getting no better. Because you're seeing every day people dying from from cancer. You all think it's a joke? You all think it's a joke in the black community to see lots of black people going on dialysis and losing their kidney to diabetes and hypertension? You all think it's a joke? You all think it's a joke to see young children dying from cancer? It's not a joke. It's going to get worse because we are not listening. We are a stiff-necked people. And as long as we don't listen, we are going to end up in that sick care building, we and our children. And then what's going to happen to us? They're going to put us in palliative care, long term, and then you're going to come and run to Ambrosia and thinking that Ambrosia can help you. But you haven't gone already. Don't get it. Clean your lymphatic system, drain it. Go on program. We have programs now. We do it. Yeast and parasite program. Clean, 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 clean. Because they ain't getting no better. They're messing up the air. You're messing with your food. You're messing with your with everything. You know what I mean? Environment. Because they know for a fact and that you're eating bad. Yeah, brother. Don't forget, Ambrosia Health Foods, 718-469-0985. Patrick Dell's website, www.patrickdellsHolisticHealing.com. 616-315-302329. We supposed to go to Grenada last week. We had to cancel because we're kind of busy here. But we're going to go to Grenada this week. And we're going to serve my people. Trinidad and Tobago, we're coming to you all. Jamaica, we're coming to you all in May. And Atlanta, we're coming to you all in May. Baltimore, we're coming to you all in April if God give us health and strength. Philly, we're coming to you all in April if God give us health and strength to teach our people. Because we're dying from cancer every day. And we're still in listening. God is great. Give thanks and praise to the Most High. We'll leave you with a tune called tonight, Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown, Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown. Hey, Mr. Brown, I hate Mr. Brown. I am an Ethiopian. All black people are Ethiopians. You know, I was in a lift today, and I had a conversation with I call him a so-called Jew. I say, yeah, Jew. I said, I had a good conversation. You know, a lot of them don't believe. He said there's no New Testament. It's only an Old Testament, the Torah. But I put him in his place, and I make him know that the God that he serving is our God. The Hebrew Israelite, the rightful ruler of Israel. He said there's no Palestine either. I said, what? Rightful ruler. Yeah, man. Everybody too quiet, man. We better not tune there, boy.
Yeah,
I'm Mr. Brown. I hate Mr. Brown.
Yeah.
And Mr. Brown ain't Mr. Brown. And Mr. Brown, I hate Mr. Brown.
Yeah.
And Mr. Brown, I hate Mr. Brown. I'll tell you something.
Ethiopian. I'm an Ethiopian Jew. Yeah, man.
Ethiopian. I ain't Mr. Brown. I ain't Mr. Brown. I'm Mr. Brown. I hate Mr. Brown. Hey, Mr. Brown. I ain't Mr. Brown. I am Ethiopian. I
faker. I am an Ethiopian Jew, an Ethiopian. Look not upon me because I'm black. Look not upon me because I'm black. I am black but comely.
I am black but comely.
Black people, we love you. I'm Ethiopian. Hey, Mr. Brown, I hate Mr. Brown. Hey, Mr. Brown, I hate Mr. Brown. That's Ashanti is the man. That's the African name, brother. Mr. Brown and Mr. Baker, we ain't no faker. We are Ethiopians, man. Give thanks, you know.
Ambrosia.
Yes, sir. I am an Ethiopian. Yes, an Ethiopian. Don't forget to support the black community. And don't forget that we have to come together as a people and start to lift up each other and stop pulling our people down, man, and get rid of the Willie Lynch syndrome. Don't forget, we have to get rid of the Willie Lynch syndrome and start to have our own hospitals, our own buses, our own this, our own that, like we used to have in Black Wall Street before they burned it down. Yes. Come together, brothers. You just hear the Caribbean countries are being warned by the American government that they have to avoid the Cubans from coming into the country, otherwise they're going to take away the visas. You understand? We must come together as a people. Africa unite. Let it be the United States of Africa and Caribbean people. All you come together and start trading with one another. We have so much resources. We are the richest continent in the world, and yet we are the most underdeveloped. Something is wrong, but we have young leaders now in Burkina Faso is rising up. In Niger, they're rising up, and they're making Africa great again. Take that. So let's do it over here now. Come together, people. Yes. Blessings, man. Yes, sir. And we're going to have a program on the lymphatic system where you'll have to drain your lymphatic system. We're going to have it in a couple of days so you could just work and keep your lymphatic system healthy and prevent lymphoma, non-Hodgkins, and Hodgkin lymphoma. Yeah? We're going to work on that so we can save our people. Yes, sir. Mr. Brown, I hate Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown, I hate Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown, I hate Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown.